Good evening, Sarge. Good evening, Sergeant Grumpy. Good evening, Troll Room, as they pile in.
Is that better? Good evening. Let's start again. Good evening and welcome back to Chasing Dissent. Yeah, that's what it's going to be called from now on. And thank you, DW, for picking that up so damn freaking quickly.
I think you need to hit that retard button, mate. You need to hit that
He can be my producer.
Retard.
What a way to start this show. I mean, I even had the night off on Friday because young Shalini wasn't feeling too great. But there we go. She's better now. She probably just wanted to go out with Vaughn and didn't want to hurt my feelings.
Date night's got to be done, Sarge. It's got to be done.
You know, if that's what it was, Shalini, you just need to say so. That's fine. I won't be jealous much.
Good evening, DW. Good evening, Frankie J. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, peoples. Oh, yeah, I do love that intro. I think I'm going to have to recut it, though. I
love it.
But I'm going to have to take Ben out because he's not here every week.
It's all right. It was his gig and your gig. You can watch this, Ben. It's all good.
It was, yeah, because he was Dissent Media and I was Chasing Liberty.
Yeah.
And that's how we got Chasing Dissent. Nice. That's where it came from. Right. But that's all gone now. That's all in the past and in the past it shall remain. That's a line from a song. But yeah, it will remain in the past because we've changed. We've changed and we've both matured, I think. And we've spent less time criticising the obvious and more time picking fault with, you know, fuckwits that are out there spreading misinformation.
The obvious.
Yeah. And the thing that gets me is the people that are spreading the misinformation seem to think they're the arbiters of good on the internet. And they're not. They aren't.
No.
In fact, they're quite retarded.
40, 30, 20, retard.
But yeah, and there's no doubt one of them or some of them watching at some point, and you know who you are. But you're not big enough, you're not hard enough, and you really don't give me any sleepless nights. So I can assure you of that. Right, let's move on. Let's get on with the show. Grumpy? What have we got today? We have. Is art imitating life or is life imitating art? What the hell is going on? Because what we've got here is a MAGA evangelical leaders gather in Mar-a-Lago to bless and dedicate a gold statue dedication to Donald Trump.
Is this for real? This actually happened?
Yeah, it's for real. I checked. It's for real, right? So it's for real. And this was the boys the other night with a golden statue of Homelander at the Church of Homelander. And really, I think realities are blurring here at this point because it seems to me that America seems to be turning into an open-air asylum.
It's a bit...
And
yeah.
If you're an American, I'm sorry, but I'm only calling it as I see it.
Well, we're kind of talking about the evangelicals, like here. No disrespect, but isn't that a bit hypocritical? Thou shalt not worship false idols. This gold statue of this other individual is being idolized. It smacks a bit of hypocrisy here, doesn't it, dear evangelicals?
It's just mad, isn't it? It really is. I just don't get it. David's got an echo. How can David have an echo? Oh, give me a second.
Good ears, DW. We can't get the staff nowadays. Do you know what I mean?
Just can't get the staff. So how's it going now? Is that better?
Can you hear my lovely Irish brogue? You should be able to hear it okay now.
Yeah, you should hear him without an echo. It's either better or it's not. He either has an echo or he doesn't.
Yeah.
Right, so I don't think you've got one now.
Yeah.
All sorted. Thank you, DW.
These things happen.
They do,
Thanks, Shalini.
and you know it's
Evening.
because, and no offense to anyone out there, but you know I'm a one-man band. I don't get paid for this. I don't even monetize this. So, you think I'm making money out of this? You think I'm grifting? Yeah. No, I do it for fun.
However, if they feel so inclined, Sarge, what would you say?
Well, they are. You can drop me a donation at any time, and you know where to do that. Ko-fi.com/Sgt Grumpy. But there you go. Yeah. Or you can even do things on YouTube, you know. If you can though, drop it at Ko-fi because YouTube take ridiculous amounts of money from you.
And if you can't, just send your love and support and share, baby, share. Smash that like, subscribe,
Yeah.
all the good stuff.
It is.
We just need cash. I know a lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash.
Yeah, the gratuitous is begging over.
Another painter. Yeah.
Right, moving on. Donald Trump. I'm pleased to announce there will be a 3-day ceasefire, May 9th, 10th, and 11th. So this is currently May 10th, so we're in the middle of it. In the war between Russia and Ukraine. The celebration in Russia is for Victory Day, but likewise in Ukraine, because they were also a big part and factor for World War II. Hold on a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
Weren't they on the wrong fucking side?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they were a big part in Ukraine. Yeah, Ukraine were a big part of World War II.
Stepan Bandera, OUNB.
Yeah, Nazis.
Closely aligned with Nazism and its Nazi ideology.
Yeah. So anyway, this ceasefire will include the suspension of all kinetic activity. You know, we don't fight anymore. We just have kinetic activity.
Yeah, he was looking for a very interesting adjective there, and I'm sure he reached over to one of his staff members. He's like, I need something good to say here. Oh, kinetic. That sounds good. Let's use that.
And a prison swap of 1,000 prisoners from each country. Well, that makes a difference because normally it's like you get 35 dead Russians back for 1,000 dead Ukrainians. So at this point, we're getting 1,000 prisoners on both sides.
Right.
This request was made directly by him because it's all about him. It's all about the Trump.
Me.
And I very much appreciate its agreement by President Putin and President Zelensky. The beginning of the end to a very long and hard-fought war. Well, we'll see what happens. Putin himself has said that the war will be coming to an end soon. Although it always sounds a bit more ominous when Putin says it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, maybe Putin actually means it compared to the Donald and his situation in the Middle East.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Right, moving on. Pete Hegseth. The Department of War has pushed out the military-industrial complex contractors and replaced them with the most talented negotiators in the private sector. A group of men so elite, they have rightly been dubbed Deal Team 6.
Seriously, who makes that cheesy shit up? Oh, I know. Deal SEAL Team 6. Come on.
This is so cringy. This is what I'm saying about Americans. What the hell is going on over there?
Yeah,
Deal Team 6.
I was listening to Patrick Henningsen on 21st Century Wire was absolutely roasting Pete Hegseth and Trump over this earlier on. There's a whole video and set of graphics with this as well. Could have been made by Notebook LLM or something like that. It's super duper cheesy. Yeah,
that is part of the video. You can't really see it, but
yeah,
it's an animated video that they made. It's actually it's all right. I can't complain about it, but bloody hell, it's cheesy.
Yeah.
Right, direct naval clashes between US forces and Iran's Republican Guard. The truce is shattered. Well, apparently not. Trump said it's just a love tap. Just a love tap. We'll send. So they had 2 destroyers in the Persian Gulf, Thruxton and something else, or Truxton and something else. And I think they ran out of missiles, basically. So they sent a 3rd destroyer in to then all three of them come out with the third destroyer obviously providing guard, because they've only got 96 missile tubes, if I'm correct, if I'm remembering correctly. And this is off the top of my head. I think they've got 96 missile tubes. Some of them have multiple missiles on them. Some of them are like 4 loaded, right? So you get a cassette of 4 that goes into one tube.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are land-based Tomahawks. Some of them are anti-aircraft missiles, and some will be, what else? The 3 different types of missiles. Regardless, I think they ran out of defensive missiles, and they were getting low, and they sent the third destroyer in. Now, these destroyers are really capable, because I was thinking, what can one destroyer do? But when you actually look at what they can do, they're quite impressive. They are quite impressive, because I thought the day of surface shipping was over. But these destroyers are pretty good. I think aircraft carriers are not quite as much of a projection of power as they used to be because of the threat to them now. But the destroyers are still pretty damn cool. But the biggest problem is you can't reload them at sea.
Mm. And allegedly, maybe you can help me confirm this, Sarge, it could potentially take the US some years to replenish their munitions stocks in the wake of the Iran conflict. When it eventually does come to a stop, that's what seems to be rippling throughout the media now. It's going to take them quite some time to replenish. So they've spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of munitions on this conflict.
Yeah, and remember, they've been spending a lot of money and a lot of munitions in Ukraine before that.
Yeah.
And before that, they were spending a lot of money and a lot of munitions supporting Israel against Syria and Lebanon, and against Hamas. So they've been spending an awful lot of money in munitions. They've really run down their stocks, and they aren't on a war footing. So replenishment is going to take a lot longer than one would expect. Apparently, Ukraine is now attacking Latvia.
So supposedly, but the story's a little bit different, isn't it, from what I've read?
Yeah, well, it looks like Ukraine is sending drones up through the Baltic states, and they're either getting jammed or going off course or running out of information or whatever, but they're then hitting structures in Latvia, or I think there might have been one in Estonia, but there's certainly been a couple in Latvia.
Yeah.
So and one of them just happened to crash into an oil depot in Latvia. That's really handy, isn't it?
Yeah, so it appears that there's no intention from the government of Ukraine to attack Latvia, but there's been some spillover. And I think what you and Ferder alluded to, John, is correct. There could potentially have been some long-range electronic warfare by the Russians that could have been thrown into the mix here, because the Russians, correct me if I'm wrong, they're some of, if not the best in the world when it comes to jamming and general electronic kind of warfare in these situations. So I'm not surprised if the drones just went off course.
No, aren't they just using parts from washing machines and microwaves?
Apparently so. They're still stuck in 70s Brezhnev era or something like that.
They're still queuing for bread in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Russia's changed a lot since we last knew it, but I don't think that it's. I think the problem is America hasn't fought a peer group adversary since World War II. And Russia is a peer group adversary, and even though it's only a proxy war, I think they're finding out that their peer groups aren't that far behind them, or even in some cases, maybe slightly ahead of them.
Yeah.
And regardless of what side you're on, whether you, or even if you're not on a side and you're sitting in the middle, just observing, you're still going to be subject to propaganda, slopaganda, social media bullshit on both sides, from both sides. because that's what happens in war. The first casualty of war is indeed the truth.
Yeah. But
Right.
I think it is the case, going back to what we were saying, that there's still a lot of people out there in the West that think that, Putin's Russia is still stuck in, the early 90s and the time of a drunken like Boris Yeltsin before, Putin like took over like in the early to like mid 90s. There's still this kind of notion going around, like, it's just like when Yeltsin was, over it, but it's a lot of things have changed, a hell of a lot of things,
An awful lot of things have changed, definitely. So here we have a live look at Donald Trump's exit strategy for both the Middle East and Ukraine, I would say.
That's very apt.
It is indeed. Right, so here's one that's quite interesting.
Tony Blinken.
Blinken drops in the New York Times that we quietly and discreetly delivered a ton of weapons to Ukraine as early as September 2021.
Really?
Stinger, Javelin, the works, months before the war.
John McCain, he'd be happy with that.
Yeah, we made the right call, says Anthony.
Victoria Nuland will be happy with that.
Oh yeah, of course. and if you still think that Putin's actions in the special military operation or war, whatever you prefer, if you think they were unprovoked, I refer you back to my previous video on the causes of the Ukraine war.
It was a very good video, by the way. I'm not just saying that. I watched it in its entirety, and it was very good. It was well received by a lot of people on social media, actually.
It was, actually, yeah. Regardless of what you might think, I'm trying to do evidence-based information here. So I'm not trying to spin you a line, and I'm not trying to sell you a story. What I'm trying to do is tell you the truth. And that can only be the truth if it's backed up by evidence. Yes, I can give you my opinion, but ultimately, you will only ever believe, if you're critically thinking, in the truth. And you'll cut to the chase and see through the chaff, because that's the only thing that I want you to do. Understand what's really going on. And again, like I said last week, if you're one of these people who are sitting there thinking, I'm awoken, I'm awake, I know what's going on, almost certainly you don't. You're almost certainly deluding yourself. And in fact, my just released video yesterday tells you all about that. Information capture and the awoke delusion, because that's what you're doing to yourself. You're kidding yourself on. And it takes a bit to sit back and say, yeah, I might not have actually picked up that correctly. I might have to go back and revisit my thinking on it.
Do you think that Oliver Stone's Ukraine on Fire is a pretty decent watch? Would that kind of bring viewers and listeners up to speed if they were to give that a look, Sarge?
It's not a bad watch at all. But again, I think it's slightly biased against the Americans. Because like everything, there's always a little bit of truth on both sides. And that's the problem. You've got to go through it, and you've got to see what does stack up, what doesn't stack up. But there's no doubt in my mind that the Maidan was definitely an engineered event. It wasn't spontaneous, and it was engineered by a state actor, and that then led to regime overthrow. And that's a fact. The regime was overthrown. And when you get the evidence of Victoria Nuland and the ambassador for Ukraine, the American ambassador for Ukraine, discussing who's going to be in the government of Ukraine, who's pulling the shots, you know who's pulling the strings. Yeah. Right, moving on. On June the 16th, 2025, Trump announced a new Trump phone, which would be available for pre-order. Now, he did this He did this on his social media platform.
He's got
I
eau de
believe.
toilette as well. He's got quite a bit of
Yeah.
swag, our Donny.
Yeah. But it was a $100 pre-order towards a $500 phone.
Jesus Christ.
To date, it was meant to, that was June and it was meant to deliver September, October. It's been pushed back.
Of
To
course.
date, he's now received 590,000 plus pre-orders. Estimated 59 million in sales on that $100, right?
Unbelievable.
Last month, he updated the pre-order to terms to say that this was only the opportunity to register for a potential phone and there was no guarantee a product would ever be shipped.
He actually said that.
And said it was retrospective on people that had already paid.
I doubt Donald said that. Maybe one of his team did. He doesn't have
whoever
that.
said it.
I know.
That's well, in the UK that would be fraud.
No, it's a disgusting, deceiving bait and switch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that is a total rug pull. That is a total rug pull,
But
and that is something like what Donald Trump would actually do. And
Yeah.
he's been known to do that back in the day and not pay
Oh, yeah.
bills on particular things that he's not happy with. You know,
Yeah.
if it's, doing up his like Trump Tower or something like that. Oh, that's not particularly right. That's it. Scrap the bill. I'm not paying for it. That kind of thing. So that's just extraordinarily disingenuous behavior.
And MAGA people are on X saying, I don't care. It's $100 and it went to the right person.
Absolute manure. It's probably like no. It could be. It would be funny if the architecture of that phone was like a Xiaomi made in China,
Yeah.
and they just branded it like
There is
a
no
Trump
phone. It's a scam.
There's
There
nothing-
is no
yeah.
phone. It's
Yeah.
vaporware. This is out and out a scam. This
Yeah.
is fraud.
Yeah, rug pull.
There's
Yeah.
no other word for it. It's a criminal act.
And if you want your $100 back, dear American friends, just do a chargeback.
Apparently
Just
you're
say
not getting
it's
it. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it is fraud.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Tut
That-
tut tut.
That's the measure of the man. And I quite liked Trump the first time around. Around in his first term, I think he made a lot of good choices and reasonable choices and sensible choices, and he seemed to be turning the country around. And then we had Biden, who, to be fair, more or less just gave us the same as what the Democrats always gave us anyway. He didn't change a lot. Apart from that, incredibly, was it Biden that took them out of Afghanistan?
Yeah, it was during the Biden regime.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that was just a complete mess. It was echoes of Vietnam all over again.
Yeah.
So, I'm not necessarily against Trump, but that's not right. What he's just
No.
done there is definitely not right.
It's what good evening to Espresso Mechanic TV said, a technological emperor's new clothes.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
very apt. Absolutely. It's a total, not a very nice bait and switch.
Yeah. And speaking of the Emperor's new clothes,
Or changing the deck chairs on the Titanic.
yeah, we asked 48 million voters, what would make you vote for Labour again? You said Gordon Brown.
Our survey said. I love that show. I used to watch that growing up. It was great. Good on
If
there.
it's up there, I'll give you the money myself.
That's a great
I
graphic.
mean, seriously, Gordon Brown as a special envoy on global finance.
Honest to God, that is like getting a,
Well,
trusting a pyromaniac to become like a fireman. Like,
I said, is that not like hiring a convicted thief to guard your wife's jewellery? I mean, that's fucking nuts.
And
Gordon Brown.
Can we remind people that in 1999, you fact check me on any of this, Sergeant. 1999, Gordon Brown sold half of the UK's gold reserves. It would have been worth about $60 billion US today, around 45 billion British pounds. And I think back in the day, He sold off half the reserves for about 3.5 billion USD. 3.5 billion.
Yeah.
Silly man.
And he sold it at the lowest point I think the gold market's ever been at.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, Gordon Brown. And Starmer's just... Oh, this is Mick. I had to put this in because this is quite funny. Because this actually shows you where critical thinking needs to be employed, because I like Mick and I get on really well with Mick.
Makes a supporter of this gig, of the show, and the work that you do, yes.
But he's talking about vaccines and he's saying, have you any idea how long it would take to produce 12 billion vaccines? At a rate of 10 per second, it would take 38 years. Yet people fell for it. But as I point out, the UK produces 7 billion pints of beer every year. At the rate of 10 pints per second, it would take 22 years. People don't understand how quickly you can manufacture things when it's an industrial scale. And it's basically brewing. Because vaccine production, once you've got the vaccine made, is basically the same process as brewing beer. So it's not a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I do have, and thank you for reminding me, Eleni, I do have a book out, Think Like I Detective, and it's available on Amazon.
And signed copies as well.
And if you DM me or contact me, I will send you a signed copy for the cost of the postage.
And a special message, maybe.
Yeah. Probably along the lines of, get it up you old... Anyway, right, moving on. Key reasons why hantavirus won't turn into COVID pandemic. Now, I'm already on record as saying hantavirus has only got like 1 or 2 days left. I said it in 3 days and then it would be dropped from the news cycle because there's nothing in it. It's not going to be another COVID, and it can't be because of the nature of the beast.
I think we're seeing tangents of the panic surrounding monkeypox, and then it was renamed like mpox. We're looking at something that it's not easily transmissible. It doesn't have a high lethality, high consequential infectiousness. So really to contract that particular infectious disease, you've got to be in very, very close or on skin contact with another individual. But as usual, the media machine, social media, is totally cooking it.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I mean, Truly says it was the Andy strain. It doesn't really matter because hantavirus, regardless of what strain it is, isn't that lethal if you're in a first world country. Yeah, if you're in the middle of the Amazon rainforest and don't have access to medical facilities, then it's going to be a problem. But in a first world country, people just don't die of hantavirus. They don't really get it. It's very, very rare. And as we've already said, it's difficult to transmit. Now, even if it became transmissible between humans, its viability would go down. So it would be probably easier and easier to treat. Cruises are brilliant, Shalini. I've been on one.
Cruises. Oh yeah, well yes,
well, it depends very much on the cruise, because if you've not been on one, you might not know what they're like. But I went old school, so we went on my honeymoon from Southampton to New York on the Queen Mary, the Queen Mary II.
A Cunard vessel, very nice.
Yes, and we didn't go cheap seats. We went Princess Suite, which is one down from the. Well, they call it, what is it you call it? The Queen's Grill and the Princess Grill. The Queen's Grill is the top, that's the top dollar ones. And the Princess Suites are the next one down. And it was absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
You had a lovely time.
It was.
It was lovely.
I mean, I got asked what regiment I was in when we were going to the captain's table dinner because I was wearing my kilt. And
I remember this story.
This American tourist woman comes up and goes, "Oh my God, you look fantastic!
I love your kilt."
Yeah, what regiment are you in? And I'm like, what?
I could be. I could identify with the regiment. Yeah.
Yeah. So cruises can be brilliant.
But they can also be a breeding ground for pathogens. People can get sick on.
Yeah, of course they can. Because well, you're in a confined space, cooped up with a lot of other people. Having said that, I would imagine there's a big difference between a Cunard cruise and something like one of these
P&O.
You know, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, John. I think by the end of next week, the hantavirus thing is it's gonna fizzle out. Could be entirely out of the news cycle by the end of next week.
It could be. Yeah, it will be. I'm pretty confident it will be. It'll be a dead duck by midweek at the absolute latest, I would think.
A dead cat story, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And here's another one that maybe illustrates critical thinking.
Oh no, not Andrew Bridgen. Oh God, here we go.
So he taken a big leap here, right? Because he says, who's Dr. Tedros just said in a media briefing that he hopes the hantavirus will make Argentina and US reconsider their decisions to withdraw from WHO, as the best immunity we have is solidarity. And viruses don't care about politics or borders. Problem, reaction, solution.
Hegelian dialectic.
And if you want to know what the Hegelian dialectic is, I've got a video about it. You can go and look it up.
Well, listen, my response to this is that I sent this also to you the other day, John. This is the same Andrew Bridgen. Now, I want to be fair. On a previous Dissent show, Chasing Dissent show, I did give credit to Andrew Bridgen where credit was due. So I'm not being unduly nasty to Andrew Bridgen.
No.
But I'm sorry, he posts so much shit, folks. One of the things the other day, so it was yesterday, within the past 24 hours, apparently passkeys that would use.
Oh, I forgot to put that in. But yeah, carry on.
Passkeys are the same thing as digital ID verification or digital ID credentials. Share it on. It's a sneaky way for the government to get digital ID in by the back door, and it's about passkeys. And he got absolutely roasted in his thread over that, and he got community noted, so he's going to be demonetized over that. It's just absolutely pathetic. And I put a comment in there saying, Andrew, I'm really happy to see you're getting cooked here, mate, because you might learn something for a change. You know what I mean? He doesn't do himself any favors, but he doesn't care because it's set up. His account is set up, if you observe it, it's set up for big monetization, baby. Big Elon Musk bucks.
You know what's coming now, don't you? Retard. Right, moving on.
Oh dear.
And this is another example of critical thinking and how it's not being applied by people. Because, or again, this is just, social media manipulation for clicks, likes, and to make money off an algorithm that only rewards those that provide controversy. You don't, people that give you information, the algorithm's not going to pick them up, because that's not going to drive the huge numbers that the algorithm needs.
It's about sentiment analysis, emotional release.
Yeah, yes, it needs those numbers for the advertisers. Anyway, Dr. Jane Ruby here. Something smells. 17 Americans are being transported to the National Quarantine Unit at Offutt U.S. Air Force Base, Omaha. Forced quarantine could last weeks, potentially up to 8 weeks. Offutt isn't a hospital. It's where the U.S. Nuclear Command sits. Where exactly are these passengers being taken, and who decides when they come out? Well, if you'd actually fucking done any kind of research, Dr. Jane Ruby, right, you would know that is the only place in America where they bring people that are to be quarantined, and then they take them to the Nebraska University Hospital.
Don't mention that, though, or it won't be so alarming.
Exactly. That's just what gets it. And I mean, we will talk about disclosure at some point.
It's coming.
It's coming.
UAP, UFO disclosure day is coming, John.
No, disclosure day's here. It was Friday. It started on Friday.
With the release. But I'm talking about the Spielberg.
That's just a movie. I mean, people seem to think it's a documentary. It's a fucking work of fiction. In fact, going to say this on the record. UFOs are a work of fiction. Across the board, there are none.
Hey, Bob Lazar would disagree with you. The sports model, baby. All right.
Bob Lazar, yeah. Labour setting up a 500 million taxpayer-funded sovereign AI unit to invest in artificial intelligence companies. The reported choice to run it? Tony Blair's daughter-in-law. He's married to Ewan Blair, his son.
Wow. Well, it's not what you know it's who, you know. And nepotism is alive and well.
Nepotism is rife.
And for the record,
Sorry.
a lot of people have said previously about Ewan Blair, you know, because of the familial connection to Tony Blair being his dad, that, you know, he's directly involved in the UK, you know, in Labour's ID plans, in Labour's national digital ID plans, and that is not the case. That is not the case with Multiverse Limited, but that just keeps on spinning around. That Ewan Blair got the contract, he didn't. He never got it.
He didn't. A trans-Indian migrant who arrived in the UK a few years ago and is not a citizen or a permanent resident was elected to the Scottish Parliament as a member of the Green Party. Scotland allows non-citizens to become elected to office. How can this be real? How can a country do this to themselves? How can you allow someone here on a limited term visa of 3 years be elected to a 5-year post?
So they don't. So this individual does not have settled status, or has neither received is not naturalised. They have not become a British citizen. They've not received the passport.
He's on a student visa.
He's on a student visa.
He's on a 3-year student visa. How the fuck?
Should not be running for local elections.
But who the fuck's electing him?
Well, exactly. Well, this is where the Green Party have got to be reprimanded over that. They should know better. Like, it shouldn't be happening.
How can this even be allowed to happen? This is crazy. He doesn't even have the right to work in this country, and yet he's been elected to office. This is not Scotland. What the fuck are you doing? Really?
Have you checked this further, John? Just be kind of careful about it. Is that the actual case that this individual
that's
does not have settled status? They're on a particular type of visa.
He's on a 3-year student visa. He's just been elected to a 5-year post.
That's shocking. That's shocking, and that needs to be investigated and turned around.
He's fundraising to try and extend his visa. Fucking unbelievable.
I'm genuinely speechless.
Yeah, I'm gobsmacked, mate. I'm gobsmacked.
Yeah.
Apparently, this Sontaran guy here has also been elected as a councillor for reform or something like that. It's diversity's running amok, but he's down in England at least.
Mm.
Right, moving on. And this is another example of where you need to apply your critical thinking before you actually start rumbling your guts, you know? So, Reformed UK candidate who was elected in Bradford, Daniel Devaney, has resigned already, saying he doesn't want to be a councillor and has gone away on holiday. Right? Now, that's true, as it is, right? He was elected, but he pulled out. He pulled out of the process well before the election. He said he wasn't going to, he didn't want to run anymore.
He gave some sort of notice, okay.
He gave notice that he didn't want to be included on the list, but it was too late to reprint the ballot papers.
Okay.
So he got elected, even though he wasn't running. So it's not like he just changed his mind at the last minute.
Right, okay.
You know, I mean, the guy was quite open about it and says, "Nah, I've changed my mind. I don't want to be a councillor." Especially in Bradford.
I mean, well, Reform UK, they've got a couple of quids. They should be able to kind of change things around quickly when it comes to
but that's
things off.
But it's not down to Reform; it's down to the electoral process when it comes to ballot papers.
The Electoral Commission, yeah.
So the problem is he's also been targeted for making Islamophobic remarks and
social media posts and
offending people and all that
things like that. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean the guy had pulled out, but such is life. Don't you just love it when nurses make up their minds that you're just not actually not actually get anything wrong with you, and they just leave you in the corridor with an unconnected oxygen mask, thinking she was overreacting. So she died after being sent back home because they thought she just had a mild infection, and it turned out she had oh Christ, I've forgotten what it was, but she had something that caused organ failure, and she died at home.
Oof.
But she was left sitting lying in the corridor for ages without
Yeah.
anyone seeing her. You know, for fuck's sake.
Wow.
Surely, I mean, I know we have nurse practitioners and all that who seem to think they are the best thing since sliced bread, and you may well be, right? But surely there must be some kind of criteria for triage rather than just someone saying, yeah, I think she's overreacting. Surely there must be something a bit stronger than that.
So when she was left with the unconnected oxygen mask, and they thought that she was overreacted, is that when she went back to A&E with her situation, or?
I can't remember. I need to get more information.
So they sent her home, and it sounds like that she wasn't like triaged or diagnosed like correctly, and then she died sadly after 2 days. She was
ill. She went to hospital. They sent her home, and then she went back to hospital, and she died in the corridor with the unconnected oxygen. Yeah.
Wow. I'd be keen to know exactly what it was. I mean, such a young lady as well. It must have been something really sudden and serious, you know.
Give me a second.
Have a quick.
And I do read these things before I put them up.
No, of course.
And normally I remember them, but sometimes my head goes. Where are we? There's just so much nonsense, isn't there?
Clarissa Street, NHS and E. Unconnected oxygen mask. A pulmonary embolism.
Yes, pulmonary embolism.
She was suffering from a pulmonary embolism. Oh my!
They thought she was having a panic attack. She had low oxygen levels and a raised heart rate. She was left for over an hour.
Yeah.
And she died from pulmonary embolism. There you go.
Right. Oh.
Right. Sorry about that. I should have do better research.
No, that's all right.
Moving on. I don't know what these people are thinking, right? So this guy who can only write in all caps, which I assume means he's shouting.
I'm sure Trump would appreciate that. He likes to do that as well.
Iraq veteran Michael Humble, April 30th at Bishop Auckland, County Durham, removing phased array electronic assault weapon. Interviewed by Durham plainclothes police at the scene. They didn't detain or arrest him for removing this illegal covert weapons deployment. So the guy cut the light sensor that's on top of a set of traffic lights.
Yeah.
So it's at night, if there's cars coming, the lights change quicker because you're actually approaching them. He cut the light sensor off it.
He thought it was some sort of like silent weapon, or
he thinks it's a phased array. What was it?
Electronic assault weapon.
Phased array electronic assault weapon. There are mentally ill people out there.
There's something going on with 5G, Mark. Yeah.
There are mentally ill people out there, and I just can't countenance it. I mean, what the fuck? I can see the point in taking down cameras, but that not because they're attacking you, apart from your civil liberties.
Anyway, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But remember, if you've not done anything wrong, there's no reason, there's nothing to fear. Is there? I'm happy to have my face scanned every second of the day if it solves Britain's crime wave. What crime wave is that?
Just to mention for you folks, if you don't know who Celia Walden is, she is the wife of Piers Morgan. And apparently she's a journalist as well.
Well, what crime wave do we have?
But just read what she said again. I'm happy to have my face scanned every second of the day. I'll repeat that again. Every second of the day, Celia. Even in the privacy of your own home, even when you're sitting on the loo, you're willing to have your face scanned every second of the day. You absolute idiot. And it's not going to solve Britain's crime wave.
What crime wave?
And it's this whole, if you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to
Yeah,
hide.
exactly.
She made this typical logical fallacy argument as well, which is used by the government when they're proposing digital ID. You know what I mean? It's like, if you posted a picture of yourself on Facebook, you have no argument. You've no skin on the game. You've no argument in the, so you should allow yourself, under constant live facial recognition by authorities. If you posted a picture of yourself on Facebook back in the day, you have no argument. That's what you're dealing with. And that's the sort of retardary coming from Piers Morgan's missus.
So, just to play devil's advocate a little bit, if you go out in public, there's no expectation of privacy. You can't stop people taking photographs of you in the street. Okay? So why would the government not be allowed to take photographs of you?
Rhetorical question. Please answer.
No, I'm playing devil's advocate,
Yes,
because there's a whole genre of photography called street photography where people go about taking photographs and clips of people, and sometimes they get challenged and people say, don't take my photograph, and they say, look mate, if you're in public, I'm entitled to take as photographs of whoever I like, whenever I want. And that's true.
That's true.
So there is no expectation of privacy if you are in public, right? So that then leads me to this. Is this what the government's using in order to basically surveil us at every opportunity? But having said that, there would be an offence if we use those images to do something with them, to generate false information or to use them in a campaign of targeting or whatever. If we took people's images and used them like that, we would be committing an offence. So would the government be doing such a thing if, having taken your photograph, they then used it to track you when really they don't have a warrant to do that?
Well, it's very interesting what you said, because the vast majority of the public, they won't really kind of have much of an idea, regarding live facial recognition, and what it is and how the authorities would collect, store, process, and check such information. They're not aware, say for example, that they could only assume that the authorities, the police in this particular case, would be adhering to to the highest level of UK GDPR, Data Protection Act of 2018 as well, but they don't know that. And of course, we've had these historical instances where there can be some bent cops doing bad stuff with such collected data. Those particular instances have occurred, and they may continue to occur. I think it's a very British thing as well. It's just like, well, what are you doing with this? What are you doing with that? Mind your own bloody business, mate, kind of thing. I think the public are bound to get kind of perturbed by this stuff the more it rolls out across society.
So, I'm not quite sure how it works in England and Wales, right? But in Scotland, the CCTV, public CCTV, isn't run by the police. It's run by the local authorities or independent contractors on behalf of local authorities. So the police don't necessarily have access to it, other than perhaps in a real-time environment where they have an officer in the control room, but he doesn't have access to previous recordings. He only has access to what's going on there and then. Yeah. Or they feed through to police control rooms, but the police don't run the cameras. Now, that's not how it used to be. The police did used to run the cameras in Scotland, but they don't anymore. It's been separated from the policing function. So, again, I don't know how it works in England and Wales. I don't know if it's separate or if it's still under the police.
I think members of the public are going to have some genuine concerned questions about this. We have the likes of O2 motion data and analysis. The government have it's not a kind of I forget the acronym that's used for it, but like there would be it's called SITCEN, SITCEN, SITCEN. It's a type of a kind of a control and command center where data can be pulled from major mobile phone networks in the UK regarding kind of certain demographics. If there's particular traffic, road traffic accident, there's something that happens kind of outside of London Underground or something like that. There's a lot of things that are actually happening with the flow of data that the public, as I said, they don't necessarily understand that it's going on, but it's important that they do have some basic understanding of it and how the authorities collect, store, and process this data, what it's genuinely, used for. I completely understand with the public is that your face is getting scanned by LFR, by live facial recognition, and the burning question is, what happens to my biometric data? What happens to that facial biometric? When does that data, that information, when does it get deleted? How long does it take? Very basic stuff,
Yeah, and who has access to it?
Yeah.
The Department of Work and Pensions has confirmed that taxpayers have funded an increase in benefits for additional spouses in polygamous marriages, an increase of 4.8% to their benefits from April for husbands with multiple wives. I think it's 4.8 per wife, increase, right? So if you've got 2 or 3 wives, you get an increase on your benefits. Okay?
Right.
Even though polygamy is illegal in the UK. Yes, polygamy is illegal in the UK. But my understanding, and this is where critical thinking again comes into it, my understanding is that if you enter this country legally in a polygamous marriage, then that will be upheld by the UK authorities, right? Because it wasn't conducted in the UK. Therefore, it's still viewed as a legal marriage here because it happened in a culture and a country where it was legal.
But
right?
So their status, sorry to interject, so their status is still being recognised within UK domestic legislation.
Yes.
Even though it didn't happen inside the UK, it's still...
Yeah, even though you didn't... Well, because you didn't get married in the UK in this polygamous relationship, your status will be recognised. You can't get married in the UK into a polygamous marriage, not legally, right? Therefore, you can't claim this benefit if you get married in the UK. So the only people that can claim this are people who have come to this country with more than one wife and who are on benefits, right?
Oh, my God.
Now, that amounts to 10 people currently in the UK. There are 10 people getting this benefit. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, right? But that is not what that tweet is saying. There are 10 people that's going to get this benefit. And nobody else that's in a polygamous relationship illegally can claim this benefit and they won't get it, right? So there are currently 10 people in the UK that are allowed to get this benefit. So it's not really going to make that big a dent in the coffers. It may well be a joke, Shalini, but it's not something that we really need to get up in arms about.
So UK legislation says that you no matter who you are, you cannot get into that polygamous situation in the UK.
No, UK legislation says you cannot marry more than once.
You cannot marry the one, but UK legislation will also say if it's done outside of the UK legislation then will uphold and recognise that status. Yeah. Even though you know what? I'm just going to spell it out. It's a total fucking, excuse my language, non sequitur. It really is. The law is a fucking ass.
Well, the law is an ass. But having said that, the UK won't let you, if you're in this, say you're in this country right now claiming benefits, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to Pakistan and get married again. You can't bring that wife back
Are you sure?
Because no, you can't, because you didn't come into the country under the circumstances in which you would be allowed to claim for a polygamous marriage.
Oh, so you can't do that, right?
So you can't do that.
Got to do it all in Afghanistan first, mate.
You got to have your wife's in Afghanistan, and that probably includes the goat as well, before you come back.
Jesus Christ, my head is spinning over that.
Not come back before you come. You can't come in and then leave and then come back with an extra wife. No, that doesn't work. That's not how it works.
I was discussing this with a friend earlier on. I swear to God, what Tony Blair did with the UN 1951 Refugee Convention, what he did baking that into UK domestic legislation with the Immigration and Asylum Act of 1997. That seriously needs to be reviewed, and it needs to be amended.
Yeah.
Desperately. Because that did not change after Brexit. It absolutely didn't change after Brexit, but it should have changed.
It should have, yeah.
But it didn't. That is the biggest sticking point that people are not talking about. And that's one of the worst things out of many that Charles Linton Anthony Blair has done on the bloody country, is that bloody act. It really and truly is.
Yeah.
Just getting on my soapbox there a little bit, but I felt it was necessary, folks.
That's fine. You're entitled to be on your soapbox.
That's entertainment.
British journalists tracked down the person behind a viral Islamophobia and anti-black Facebook account, Britain Today, used by racists and far-right extremists. It's a Pakistani man based in Pakistan who is indeed a devout Muslim.
I've seen something about this stuff on Musk's X before. You know, these accounts operated by Indian nationals. And I know we have this bloke in Pakistan. He's in Islamabad or Lahore.
Yeah.
Monetizing.
And when asked about it, he said, well, it makes me $1,500 a week.
A week? A week.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. With a Facebook account and a little bit of help from Ara, maybe, or another model.
Yeah. That's that. So, Islamophobia sells if you're in Islam.
His OPSEC wasn't really great if they managed to track him down. These blokes always seem to slip up and have really bad operational security where they can get tracked down. Absolute retards.
It's that low level of education, isn't it, David?
Hey, I know it sounds edgy, but he must be doing something right if he's getting 1,500 quid a week. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's stirring up shit. That's what happens.
Rage bait, mate. That's what it's all about.
Listen, mate.
Rage bait.
You know what? If you were soulless enough to go on and just wind people up all the time, right? But for something like Tommy Robinson, right? I'll say it. Someone like Tommy Robinson, just go on and wind somebody up. I mean, Andrew Bridgerton's trying to do it. All they're doing it for is fucking money. They're just grifters. Now, if you're soulless enough to do that, you can make a living. I can't. I couldn't live with myself if I was fucking telling lies all the time.
Like me, you're just not Machiavellian enough, Sarge.
I'm not. No. I thought I was, but I'm not.
No.
The mainstream media, and here's another one. If you're freaking soulless enough to jump on the bandwagon that is UFO stroke UAP, you could. I mean, Lou Elizondo, David Grush, George Knapp,
News Nation,
Lizard Face, Greer, Ashton Thorpe. You can make a fucking fortune just banging down this path.
What are you waiting for, Sarge? Swallow
because
your pride,
I can't do it.
I just can't do it.
I can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't. I can't do it. I've tried. I mean, I started the cult of UFO and I thought this is quite good because I can investigate them and, you know, give them a little spin and then bring out the stuff at the end. And I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Can he do it? Anyway, what's going on with Area 503?
Oh, right. So that's a multi star-shaped thing here, okay? as a parachute flare, and that was debunked like 2 years ago. This video's not new; it's been out there for ages. This apparently got released on Friday, but it's just a parachute flare. It's the exact same parachute flare video from 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So-
I initially thought my initial analysis was that there was some sort of like heat signature. It was another object, not UAP, UFO, but there was a heat signature given off it, and that's a target lock in the center of it. So it kind of gives it that Ezekiel's wheeler kind of.
Yeah, it's just a fucking parachute flare. So it's just
Okay.
spitting out
Right.
heat. I mean, black is hot. This
Yeah,
is reverse. It's reverse image, but
Yeah.
and Soldier's right. There's nothing to investigate. That's the problem. There is nothing to investigate. There just isn't anything there. But it won't stop them, will it? Dr. Stephen Greer, a shadow secret government, is actually running the UFO program. This is not, well, saying it's not a conspiracy theory does not make it not a conspiracy theory. What you see coming out from the White House is the tip of the iceberg. Well, we're seeing nothing coming out from the White House. So effectively, there is nothing. There's no tip. If there's no tip, there's nothing. They have acquired physical material and proof. No, they haven't. They have not. Stephen Greer is a retired ER physician who has done nothing in his life other than be an ER doctor and bang on about reptilian UFOs since, I don't know, the last 20 years.
I think for one of your hot buttons, John, that you have on the side with all of your effects, you
Yeah.
need like that opening bar of Mark Snow's The X-File intro or something like that.
aye,
You
yeah,
need
I
something
know,
like
yeah.
that, or a quote from Mulder, or one from Gillian Anderson, like Scully. Yeah, I think that would go down well. in this
Yeah,
section.
yeah, we do need that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what's on the I think there's other stuff on it, but yeah, it's absolutely nuts. It's just these guys have just lost it. They
And
have-
this is just part one of the dump that came out earlier during the week. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing in it. I mean, there's nothing.
Hey, listen, it's gonna keep you busy, mate. It's gonna keep you busy on social media.
I can't take it. I can't. It's wearing me down. There are so many fucking retards out there.
20. Retard.
So President Obama, right, laughs off previous comments on aliens, says there's no government cover-up. If there were aliens or alien spaceships or anything under the control of the US government that we knew about, seen photographs, I promise you, some guy guarding the installation would have taken a selfie with one of the aliens and sent it to his girlfriend. It would leak. And it hasn't happened yet. It would leak, you know. I mean, let's face it. See these guys that are alleged to be whistleblowers, you know, like David Grush, right? He has nothing personal. Everything that he tells you has been told to him secondhand. He is not a witness. He is not a whistleblower. He knows nothing, right? Lou Elizondo says he was in the Arrow program. No, he wasn't. He was in his fucking office in the Department of Naval Intelligence or something, or the Defense Intelligence Agency. He sat at a desk. He told them he wanted to look into the UFO stuff when Arrow was disbanded, and his boss said, "You can look into anything you like, Lou, in your own fucking lunchtime. When you're here, you do your work."
Mm-hmm.
None of these guys know anything. They're all liars and they're all grifters.
Well, I just wanted to add, I think Barack Hussein Obama he's made quite a bit of close contact with Big Mike. You know, I think that's been a close encounter of the fourth kind,
A
or
close
even the fifth kind.
A close encounter of the frightening kind, I would say. Right, moving on.
Oh,
Here we
Mario,
go.
Mario. Oh.
Here we go. Yet another one. Massive smoke pouring from Chalamet refinery in Louisiana after a big explosion. How many refineries is this now in 2026 alone? Well, I think that's his two, maybe three, right? This is getting ridiculous. Well, with 130 plus refineries and an average of 9 to 15 fires every year in the United States, it's a bit early to cry wolf. Or will that affect your fear porn click rate? Mario? You fucking grifting, fear-mongering pillock.
Yeah, Mario was nicknamed Mario Awful. I think that's it. People know the game. They get caught up in it. You know, Mario knows what he's doing. It's all about the bucks, baby.
And this is where you make money, because you put out shit like this, and as they say, as Ben is always saying, a lie spreads around the world before the truth's even left the starting block.
Yeah,
you know. But that's just nonsense. I mean, we're back to the train crashes. We're back to the ships hitting bridges. Remember? I mean, look at the train crashes.
Oh, and the scientists.
And there's a video about that. There's a complete video about that as well. But look at the train crashes. Remember the train crashes?
Yeah.
Right.
The derailments, yeah.
The derailments. Why we're not going to talk about them right now? Because there's 12,000 every fucking year in the States. 12,000. So why are we not still getting train crashes reported?
It's just not going to make you enough cash.
Exactly.
We just want your cash.
Exactly. Thank you, Shalini. Right, moving on. Massive fire engulfs recycling plant in Henry County, Tennessee. I did comment on this one as well. I said, well, that's handy. So we've got a battery recycling plant in East Kilbride, which is, 30, 40 miles away from here. And it goes on fire about once every 2 years.
Oh, but like a couple of lithium-ion batteries kind of tend to spark up or something like that.
Yeah, but it goes on fire once every 2-ish years, once it starts to get quite full.
Okay, all right.
You see where I'm going? This is another one. Oh, we've got too much stuff. We can't fucking process it. Oh, just set it on fire. It's all. I mean, it might be a conspiracy, people, and it's an assumption. But having been in the police for 20 odd years, that kind of thing does happen. Yeah,
you've seen a fair amount of fires over your time. As a former copper. Yeah,
I've even got a commendation for rescuing 8 people from a fire. Believe it or not.
A Bonnie Tyler song comes to mind.
Yeah. So that's where we've ended up in the UK. The UK government spends 92 million a year on the Online Safety Act. Forces every major platform to verify ages. Tells parents it will protect their children. Builds an entire surveillance pipeline. And a 12-year-old draws a moustache on his face and passes as 16.
The government tried to do something similar. It was around 2015 regarding adult entertainment and content. That I think they were calling it porn blockers at the time. And bearing in mind, you already had the early part of the online harms white paper. Theresa May and Matt Hancock were a big part of that, of the online harms white paper. So this was, you see, this is the thing. This was initiated. The progenitors of this were the Conservatives, like the Tories, and the government, of course, like with what they tried to do with the porn blockers from 2015, it didn't work. So this is like another example, is that there's always going to be technological workarounds, and that young boys and girls are very savvy because they've been born into a digital age. Yeah. And they've been able to adjust to technology very quickly growing up. So this sort of stuff is unsurprising,
So I'm seeing the numbers on watching the show are creeping up as we are after 9 o'clock. Should we be starting this show later again, people? Let me know.
We could take it to a poll, maybe,
Yeah, we could, yeah. What was I going to say? Who owns an iPhone? I'd imagine millions of you. Probably 50% of the people reading this post are doing it on an Apple iPhone. Have you done the latest software update, 26.4? Well, if you're in Britain, not sure if this applies to the rest of the world, do not do it. If you do it, it automatically applies over age 18 verification. You have to prove who you are and your age, or access to various services and sites will be restricted. It's not law, it's voluntary, but just another brick in the invisible digital prison being built all around us. Do not comply. Nothing happens if you don't do it, so just refuse to play their game. Yeah, I've got an iPhone.
Okay. Did you get the update?
It did. It updated the other night.
And you have, you know where I'm going with this, Sarge? And you have Apple Pay, yes?
I've got Apple Pay, yeah. I've got Apple Pay.
It was not a particular issue. You did not have to scan a.
No, I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Take us through it, please. Yes.
Right. So I woke up in the morning and I picked up my phone to see what time it was, and it said you've had an update. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We'd like you to verify if you want to use. What it said was if you want to use certain internet services in the UK, you need to verify that you're over 18. And I thought, oh fuck, I can't be bothered with that. So I went down and did my ablutions, got dressed, and then looked at my phone and thought, right, okay, let's freaking see what it's got. Opened it, and it goes, do you want to continue? And I goes, yeah, okay, continue. And it goes, you're all right, mate. You've had an Apple account long enough that we know you're over 18. That's almost exactly what it said. Yeah, you're well over 18 because you've had an Apple account more than 18 years.
There's a little bit of nuance to this, which I think, and it's understandable that, a lot of the British public, they don't seem to understand this. And I'm just going to mention a couple of very important things. There certainly was, I would imagine, regulatory pressure from the UK government and Ofcom over the age gating or stroke age verification. That's what this is age gating, age verification. I'm going to say this once and once again. Apple did not have to do this. I'll say it one more time. Apple did not have to do this or do that. They were not legally obligated under the Online Safety Bill or the Online Safety Act or from Ofcom or the UK government in general to do this. They were not forcibly told to comply with legislation. Apple, a private company with a major share of the smartphones in the UK population, I think it's above 30% or something like that. They did it of their own accord in the spirit of the framework that currently exists. They didn't have to do it. They would have been all right, but they decided to go ahead. And this is something that is completely separate to Labour's ID plans or Labour's national digital ID plans. Okay, so that's really important for people to know. And if you don't like what Apple did or potentially what Google could do in the future, well, then get yourself a Pixel device, use Graphene OS, and you can kiss all of that nonsense goodbye. There's ways around it, folks. Okay?
Yeah, there is. But having said that,
I can see why it's pissing people off. Absolutely.
It doesn't even make it wouldn't have made that big a difference to me anyway, because I haven't verified my age on X, and I've seen no difference other than, well, if it says this is this normally if it's like a sexual type video or something, it's blanked out on X, but it's blanked out anyway. So I don't bother. I just don't bother. I'm not interested.
To that guy, I don't want this to be kind of like a Stabby McStab thing or something like that. But you tag Big Brother Watch and no to digital ID. Don't get me started on that account and Together Declaration. They're not going to give you that nuance and that clarity on what I've just said.
No,
they're not going to set you straight on Apple's lack of legal obligation in this particular case.
And yet Apple, by the same token, didn't allow a backdoor into their encryption. Now they've turned their encryption off for new users in the UK. Like
the advanced data protection program, wasn't it? It was they caved into regulatory pressure with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They have turned it off for new users, but if you're already if you had an encrypted iPhone, you've still got an encrypted iPhone, and Apple haven't given them the keys. despite them getting tremendous pressure.
And
do
to
so.
say that, I mean, Apple in general are very good when it comes to privacy and security
Generally,
measures
yeah.
with their devices. But I don't like this trend of seeing them buckle under this sort of
Yeah.
regulatory pressure.
I know,
in the UK market.
And I don't quite understand it because Apple's a big enough company that is bigger than the UK, effectively. You know what I mean?
Certainly bigger than UK GDP. That's for sure.
So I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they would do it unless Tim's just been a little wuss.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm actually doing a video just now on corporations.
Yeah.
The rollerball effect or something like that is called.
Oh, rollerball.
Yeah, do you remember Rollerball? 1974?
Yeah.
Good movie.
remember,
Watch
yeah.
that. Watch
Ahead
that.
of its time.
Very much so. Very much so. Right. So here we go again. Critical thinking, right? JP Morgan intern arrested allegedly masturbating in hotel hallway. No, he wasn't. No,
Well,
he wasn't.
it's from TMZ, or as the Americans would say,
Yeah.
TMZ. So you got to take that with a pinch of salt, you know.
Yes, there is a certain degree of truth behind it, but it's nothing to do with JP Morgan or that guy, right? It gets even better, right? The actual one was Secret Service agent busted for alleged hotel hallway masturbation.
He was busted for busting one out, yeah?
A Secret Service agent is in police custody in Miami after allegedly being caught with his pants down in public.
My
The
God.
seedy Secret Service.
Yeah.
But what's going on with the Secret Service? One, they seem to be ineffectual, and two, what the
They're not so
hell?
secret.
Exactly.
Not so secret.
Not so secret, soldier. Not so secret. Michelle Dewberry. Right. So this is O'Leary, your Irish fucking Ryanair boss.
And can I just set the record here? I'm sure Miss Shalini Varma will back me up on this. There's a hell of a lot of people in the Republic of Ireland think Michael O'Leary is a tool. He's an absolutely great businessman, very clever guy, but an absolute tool.
I think he's a tool. I have no regard for the guy whatsoever. But
and he loves to go to the odd Bilderberg meeting as well.
Yeah,
just to let you know about that as well, folks.
So he says, I fail to understand why anybody in airport bars are serving people at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Because he's saying that early morning drinking is causing him to have a disrupted flight every day, near enough. Okay. So Michelle Dewberry says, I confess I'm one of those who heads to the bar for a drink pre-flight, even at 5 or 6 a.m. That's midnight somewhere in the world. True. Yeah. Makes me feel like holiday has started. Don't worry not, Mr. O'Leary. I don't seek your understanding. Now, what O'Leary did say was, he went on to say, you know, hotel bars should be just kept to regular hours. So I'm like, okay. Why?
So what's the regular hours of an international airport?
Yeah, but if you just take the regular hours off, you know, the country that you're in, say they'd then be open 11 till 11, right? If you're in Scotland, something like that, right? So you would think, okay, but what difference is that going to make to flight disruptions? You know?
Mm.
So I'm actually thinking, let's just get fuck all to do with flight disruptions, because there's going to be flight disruptions, because there's more and more people get tanked up, because one, they get treated like fucking animals by Ryanair, right? They get gouged at every possible opportunity, you know, for transporting. You know, if you're taking an extra pair of underpants, you have to pay extra, right? Now, O'Leary isn't thinking about his planes being disrupted. What O'Leary's thinking here is, if they can't buy drink in the airport, they're going to buy it on the plane. That's what this cunt's on about.
Comes down to the money, comes down to the receipts, doesn't it?
He just want to sell. He's wanting to sell more beer on his planes,
and he doesn't really have. He's a guest of the airports with his precious slots as well. That that airlines are compelled to keep. The positions, their parking spots, their slots, and he really does not have a decision like on the airports to say you got to stop serving alcohol from say
No.
5 or 6 a.m. in the morning, telling like private airport
This is-
lounges, first class
is-
lounges, you can't serve them alcohol.
That's exactly how he went about getting those stupid seats that aren't really seats anymore. Because remember, he wanted people to be able to stand in these planes, just like buses,
but
so he could get more people in.
But this is the same guy who almost 20 years ago posited the idea of charging people £1 or €1 to use the toilet on
Yeah.
a 1 hour flight. And that is true. That came out in the media just under 20 years ago. You can go check the Guardian archive or something like that. That exists. He's thought about that. That's who you're dealing with.
So it's Adam's in Spain. Hello, Adam.
Oh, yes. Oh, he's having a lovely holiday.
Yeah, I hope you're having that's good. That's good. You get a break, mate. Get a break. You pay different amounts for your seats. Yeah. I mean, really, this guy, this guy's got to be a millionaire, if not billionaire, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To my mind,
multi-millionaire. Yeah.
To my mind, he is a robber baron, right?
Well, they're the pirates of the sky right now.
Yeah, he is just a complete and utter scumbag robber baron. He's a modern day robber baron. People like Musk, and see, I would say Musk isn't a robber baron. I think his heart's in the right place, right? Mm-hmm. He's not out there necessarily to make nothing but money. And don't get me wrong, he's obviously good at making money.
Trying to do something for humanity as well, yeah.
I think he's also, even if he's only doing it for himself, he's being a tad altruistic, right? I mean, I firmly believe that he went down the electric car route because he thinks electric cars are good for the planet, not for the fact that
it's the future.
He thinks they are the future, and I believe that. Bezos, on the other hand, is a robber baron. He's just out to make as much money as he possibly can. And it's people like that. I mean, I think if you think back to there were people like Andrew Carnegie, the guy who built all the libraries. Now, I think he wasn't a robber baron. He was altruistic, and he built something like, or he funded something like 300 or 400 public libraries.
Yeah.
And he had a big effect on me because I spent a large proportion of my childhood in his library in Ayr. And it was called the Carnegie Library because he funded it in 1890. The building was built in 1893, and I was going to it in the 70s and 80s. And I spent a long time in there. But yeah. Yeah, but Andrew Carnegie isn't the guy who's running the endowment fund now, is he, Adam? So you can't really tar him with that.
And there's a lot of questionable philanthropic actions of figures such as, well, previously Nelson Rockefeller.
Yeah.
And we've good old Kill Bates as well. Good old Bill.
Well,
he's a philanthropic, altruistic figure. Good old Bill,
I don't think Bill.
It's a bit of reach comparing Andrew Carnegie and Gates. I understand.
Yeah, as a bit.
And Soros as well. Yes.
Well, Soros is just a robber baron. He's
trying to short the British pound. Just saying that, folks. Back in the early 90s,
fucking horrible person.
He likes to give non-governmental organizations, fighting for your rights, your privacy and security, hundreds and thousands of US dollars. Just to let you know about that. Nothing to see here. But anyway, that's a different story. Adam will know about that.
Yeah, he will. Right, moving on. Mark brought this to my attention because I was, as you know, I have these little rants occasionally about how bad Grok is. Because people seem to think, well, Elon Musk seems to think Grok is fucking fantastic when it really makes an awful lot of mistakes. In fact, it made one today, didn't it? When I had an argument with it.
You showed me a reasoning example, yes?
Yes, and it was completely wrong. And it told me I was wrong, and I said, no, you're wrong. Because there is no evidence to substantiate that statement. And that was about the O'Leary thing. And Grok eventually had to say, yeah, you're right. So
I'm surprised you could get it to work, because there's usually high traffic most of the time if I try to.
I know.
use it.
It seems to be working better. I don't know if they've increased the compute.
Yeah.
So, well, and you'd think Grok would be all right because somebody's just leased compute off of SpaceX. Who the hell was it? One of the AI companies has just leased some extra compute off of SpaceX.
Oh yeah.
Do you think Grok would be all right? Anyway, show me a picture of the Union Jack flag. Well, you just call it the Union flag or whatever. The right way up compared to one upside down. And Grok gives you two identical flags.
Oh dear.
But it could be right here because you actually don't know where the flagpole is.
Yeah.
Do you?
Hey, what do I know? I just know the Republic of Ireland tricolour. That's pretty basic, bitch. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you know how to tell if the flag is upside down?
Educate me, sir.
Right. See where it says right way up?
Yeah.
If that was where it was hung from, if that's where the flagpole was, right? So the flagpole's on the top of the flag. So the flagpole's going to the hoist. It's going to be hoist this side, right? So that thick white bar.
Ah, yes, I've heard about this before.
Needs to be above the red one. So the thick white bar is it's from the St Andrew's Cross, and the red one is from the Welsh flag, I believe.
Okay.
So that has to be the thick bar above the red, and that means it's the right way up. If it is hung upside down, so let's say this one had a flagpole, but the flagpole was actually going that way, i.e. going out to the right instead of to the left. So that flagpole is going to the left, and this one would be going to the right. In that case, that flag would be upside down because the thin white bar is above the red bar. So who the fuck decided to make a flag that was not symmetrical?
Are you sure there's nothing Masonic like in that? Are you sure there's no compass kind of, based on that, John? I'm joking.
I know.
You know where I'm coming from. Anyway.
A Harvard doctor locked 3 obese men in a hospital and fed them nothing for 40 days. Nothing. Their brains worked better than ever. Dr. George Cahill, Harvard Medical School, Peter Brent Bigham Hospital, 1967. He had a question medicine considered settled. What if the brain doesn't actually need glucose after all? Because they reckon the brain needed 120 grams of glucose a day, or you would go mad.
They didn't even get any water. I mean, water can be considered food in a medical setting, can't it? So they got nothing.
No, they got water.
They got water, okay.
Yeah, you can't live 40 days without water, mate. You just can't do that. But they got water. But basically, they went into ketosis and their brain started burning ketones. But yeah. So, quite interesting. Interesting. There we go. Dr. Lema says, in a back garden in Sheffield, England, a wildlife photographer named Simon Dell spotted a tiny mouse with a torn ear standing upright in his grass like a meerkat. He named him George and built him a small log shelter to keep him safe from the neighbour's cat. And then George got a wife. And Simon built him a bigger house, and then they got children, and Simon built more and more until it turned into an actual mouse village with little tables and things all set for the mice to enjoy.
Is that the Gruffalo there?
Yeah, well, it's just a toy Gruffalo that he's put in the setting because there's a mice in front of it.
Yeah.
And then Simon caught Hanta virus and died. No.
The end.
That would have been a cracker, but no, that didn't happen. But that's just pathetic.
Simon handled some mouse droppings accidentally. Got antivirus and died.
Yeah.
He was patient zero. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is the internet going nuts about Sydney Sweeney's hairdresser? I have no idea. I'm baffled. Baffled. Why is the internet going nuts about Sydney Sweeney's hairdresser? I'm completely baffled. You guys baffled? I'm baffled.
I couldn't think of any reason why,
No. Right, America. 2 feds nicknamed the alien girls attempting to interview UFO witnesses at military bases around the country. A pair of government accountability office workers, nicknamed the Alien Girls, are touring military bases in an attempt to interview purported UFO witnesses. The non-partisan legislative branch agency launched its probe of UFO disclosures and claims it is reviewing the practices of previous executive branch alien investigators. What the fuck, America? What
The
the,
Alien Girls.
actual?
Hey, you were right. They do like to be actors, don't they?
Everyone
Give
is a
them a stage.
everyone is a born actor. Put a camera on them and boom, there they go.
Those ladies have been watching a bit too much of Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black. Just
Yeah.
a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The whole thing's nuts. These people are nuts.
Yeah.
In the spirit of Gordon Brown being appointed. I think that's quite funny.
This is a good use of AI. And
Yeah, that
Photoshop.
is a
I mean,
good use of AI.
Absolutely. Some of the memes and the photoshops using AI have been absolute bangers. They've been
Yeah.
corkers. Well
Yeah.
done. People
Yeah.
mocking the shit out of Starmer's
Yeah.
recent appointments. Yeah.
Motorcycle accident in Canada. The guy must have been going at some speed because he hung his bike on the fucking traffic pole. Look at the state of that.
Wow.
The bike is hanging from the overhead traffic light. That is incredible. So he hit the car, launched it, and obviously the bike just stuck up there because it hooked his front wheel over the bar.
It's like a film stunt.
Isn't
That's
it?
kind of
Yeah.
after going wrong or something like that.
Well,
or-
it certainly went wrong because the guy's
Yeah.
in serious injuries in hospital.
Mm.
The next one I just threw in because I just had to. I've had to choose between dribbling past 5 players and scoring from 40 yards at Anfield or shagging Miss World. That'd be a hard choice. Thankfully, I've done both. George Best.
Good on George. He enjoyed a drink or two.
Didn't
Georgie.
he just?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he went through a few levers as well, didn't he?
He was an old rascal, George.
Yeah.
He had a good set of legs on him as well. Scored a couple of goals.
Yeah.
Had an
That's
airport named after him.
That's when sports stars actually had a personality, though. Right, moving on. Speaking of personalities, Giorgia Meloni is saying, in these days, several fake photos of me are circulating, generated with artificial intelligence and passed off as real by some zealous opponent. I must admit that whoever created them, at least in the attached case, has also improved me quite a bit. But the fact remains that you must be careful and carefully consider everything that you see, because it's way too easy now to pull the wool over people's eyes, isn't it?
I'd say George, as she looked at that, she was like, I could deal with that. That's all right, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't too pushed about it, you know. Wasn't too offended.
She seems all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems quite sensible. Although Trump's not liking her just now.
Oh yeah.
Because she's been strong and pushing back against him. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like. I mean, Trump just needs yes men around him. He cannot stand when anyone pushes back. He just can't.
You mentioned something about like manufacturing contracts. I think it was with Ben on last Chasing Dissent, or the previous week. There's been some friction between the United States of America and Italy over some manufacturing contacts. Does that ring a bell with you?
I don't know if there's been any friction, but what I was saying is that Italy has the F-35 service contract for
It's
Europe.
The service contract, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how long that will last. I can see that getting pulled because I think Trump is vindictive.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy's hair. That's his hair. He's made a video and he's eating cat food.
Oh, what these influencers will do for clicks. Seriously.
But that's it. I mean, and the thing is, he gagged when the first spoonful went in. He actually, you could see him, he tried not to show it, but you could see him actually gagging a little bit. But my God, that's his freaking hair.
He gives Michael Fabricant a run for his money.
If I could
Seriously.
If I could get a hat like that, I'd buy it.
It's like it's like a 2026 version or worse of Napoleon Dynamite. You ever see that film Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
Yeah, well actually it's very strange. the internet.
Freaking nuts. That's his hair.
And no wonder he's so skinny. He's eating bloody cat food, for God's sake.
Oh, Austrian man was taken to court, charged and taken to court for loudly breaking wind near police officers.
Saw that one, yeah.
So, a man was standing at a cigarette vending machine talking on the phone when he broke wind loudly right next to two uniformed police officers. He started laughing and then telling the people on the phone what he'd done, right? The police officers took umbrage to this and charged him with public nuisance or something like that, and something not quite assault on the police, but something, you know, like
Assault on their senses.
Yeah, something like that.
They cooked up something
and took him, and he says, "I'm not paying that." He says, "Yeah, I can't," and the court agreed with him. It was an involuntary act, and you can't be punished for an involuntary act. So he got off with it.
It's one of those weird occurrences, isn't it? Like within society where Vienna, Austria, yeah.
Yeah, they're all about, those countries are all about, you must do this, you know, this is the law, you must do this, you must do this. You know, they don't give you a lot of scope. It's like Switzerland. You can't wash your car on a Sunday. That is verboten.
That's just verboten, yeah. Well,
yeah, you just
depending on what part of, if you're in the German part of, of Switzerland,
you can't wash your car on a Sunday. You can't move house at the weekend.
Because of disturbances to your neighbours, I would imagine. Yeah.
I mean, in some respects, they're sensible laws, but in other respects, they're a bit draconian, you know? But, hey, I don't know. They seem to get on all right with them. A woman was on her daily jog, as she always does, not paying attention. She feels a swoosh by her. She looks and sees nothing. She keeps going. Shortly after, it happens again. This time, she sees what's going on. According to her, a huge bird had mistaken her for a rodent. I don't know if she's acting or not, because she is obviously an American. But she thinks that she's getting swooped at by a bird because it's mistaken her for a rodent and it's trying to eat her, right?
Right.
These people are nuts. It's obviously nesting at this time of the year. And
she's gone near the nest.
She's gone near the nest. And that's what birds do, yeah.
It's being territorial, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's protecting its nest.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable. Parmy, good evening, Parmy. We've only got 3 slides left now.
Adam said breaking wind instead of bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's next one. That's poor cat. I rarely do racial profiling, but that cat looks Turkish, right?
Yeah, and I've been to Turkey. I've been around Turkey. They've got a lot of cats.
Yeah, but look at the cat. I mean, it actually looks like a. It looks like a fucking Turk.
So someone just needs to get that like traditional glass that where the Turks serve the chai, their tea, like beside it, or like a little Turk kafesi as they call it, like Turkish coffee.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. Just put a little coffee beside it, you know, with a little bit of Turkish delight on the side. That would have been lovely.
And that's not AI. That's a real cat. That is a real cat. The Pussycat Dolls have officially axed their entire US tour after ticket sales were so dismal it was basically a nationwide empty seat apocalypse with arenas 80% empty.
Wow.
The 2000s raunchy icons led by Nicole Scherzinger couldn't shift enough tickets for the 30-day run. There you go.
I'm surprised by that. I thought they were pretty kind of popular.
They were big in the day. But
back in the day, usually these sort of acts when they return, people are usually clamoring to go and see them. You know, the fans. So
yeah,
I'm very very surprised by that. Yeah,
but were the Pussycat Dolls ever really that big? I mean, really?
I think they did a couple of like big hits. They weren't exactly like one hit wonders, but they were pretty popular. Like back in the day, they had a following.
Yeah. So, last slide. Minister of War. I cannot confirm or deny whether we have Kamikaze Dolphins, but I can confirm they don't.
They don't.
Yeah. Talking about Iran. This guy's nuts.
Did he actually say that?
He did actually say that.
He did actually say that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make up shit that's funnier than what Hegseth says. You just can't. The guy's a nutter. But the Yanks did have a program trying to train dolphins in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And sea lions, says Adam. Yeah, they had this program. I don't know if they've still got it underway, but in 64 they had a dolphin program where they were trying to train dolphins to lay mines on ships, you know?
Yeah, or spy as well, but like potentially
that kind
carry
of thing.
devices on the bodies, yeah.
Do you remember Flipper? No?
Of course I remember Flipper.
Was Flipper not a military dolphin? I think back about it. Was he not? Because the people that the guy's dad was in the military. I'm pretty sure Flipper was a military dolphin.
Hey, you're opening up a can of worms there, Sarge.
Yeah, I think Flipper was an artificially intelligently enhanced military super secret kamikaze dolphin.
That was I remember watching that in the 80s growing up. No, that was the 60s or 70s popular series, and they showed that right into the 80s as well. Yeah, I remember it.
They showed it into the 80s, did they?
Oh yeah. I remember Flipper growing up,
yeah.
and Skippy as well.
Skippy the bush kangaroo.
Yeah, Skippy.
And Dick Tarry.
No, don't remember that.
Clarence the Cross-Eyed Lion. No.
The Littlest Hobo. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
The Littlest Hobo. Yeah.
Flipper's dad regretted training him and made blackfish. You can't train sharks. Sharks aren't bright enough. I remember seeing something once about a shark, and they were experimenting on sharks, and they had this shark's brain exposed. It's swimming along, and it's swimming in a tank, but it was just bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flipper was quite good. It was quite funny. Yeah, Flipper the dolphin. Oh.
Well, it's been great, Sarge. Is that it? Any closing thoughts, messages?
Let me see. Well, what was I thinking about? What was I thinking about today? I was thinking about, well, you know my guilty pleasure at the moment is watching Spooks.
You're up to what, season 6, is it?
No, I'm up to season 8.
How many seasons were there altogether?
10.
10, right. And it's pretty accurate for what's going on today internationally.
It's incredibly topical, right? Because, season 7 was basically all about Iran. The Americans trying to start a war. The British trying to stop it, believe it or not, which is a bit incredible as well. But yeah, it's all incredible. And the Russians getting involved in energy now, supplying gas to the UK. It's exactly the same as what's happening right now, except it was 20 years ago, which is bizarre.
Art's imitating reality, but you could argue that this sort of thing's been going on for a long time. Yeah.
But then again, it's not, because it's probably imitating exactly what was going on at the time, because they had an episode that was all about financial meltdown in London, and that was November 2008. That was shown.
Whoa!
Now,
right.
Now the meltdown in London was October 2008, wasn't it? The financial crisis.
Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Lehman Brothers. That was that
October 2008?
That was that was roughly around October 2008, September, October 2008. Yes.
So if they're showing an episode of a 10-season thing that was made it must have been shot 6 months before
6 to 12 months before, so I had a kind of a slow release date.
Yeah, it must have been shot around about April.
Yeah, or potentially the year before. It could have been shot at some point between 2007 and early 2008. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit of a coincidence. Some would say synchronicity.
Well, hey, the thing is, these things aren't hard. You know, if you look at what's going on in the world, you could make a program just now about something that's going to happen in 6 months' time, and it's going to be more or less right. You know, like you could do something with Ukraine. You know, it comes to an end or something like that, or all the Ukrainian government gets taken out by Oreshniks. That kind of thing, you know. I mean, these things they're all on the cards. They could happen.
Yeah.
But Spooks it's quite good. It bears no relation to how the security services actually work. Especially they've got MI5 having people on location, basically, you know, abroad. That just doesn't happen.
No, that's SIS. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's 6 that does that.
Yeah, 6 or the donut, maybe. Yeah, depending. Yeah.
So you don't have that, and they've got these guys running about London with guns, and really MI5 aren't armed. It's all down. The police do all the armed stuff.
There can be. It's counterterrorism. Yeah, it's CTP, but
SO19, SO15 do all the counterterrorism stuff.
But there can be. There can be some divisions, or at least like one of very dangerous situations. No,
apparently not. Apparently 5 don't have any. They don't have they rely on the police or the SAS.
Right.
They don't do. See, this is the problem, because there's Spooks was shown in the States as well, where it was called MI5, and I think they've kind of mixed it up for the American audience, you know, like giving them the kind of FBI, CIA treatment. Because the FBI do have their intervention teams and things like that, but apparently 5 don't. 5's all. It's all.
It's all data. It's reconnaissance and collection, like
and working through data. That's all it is. You know, it's a brains not brawn type operation. If you want to get James Bondy, you go to 6. You don't stay on 5. But it's quite interesting from the point of view, and they had one thing right about the phone tracking, and then like 2 seasons later, it was wrong again. It's like someone said to them, "No, don't do it like that. Do it like this, because that's too accurate what you were doing the first time."
And it's become a lot more sophisticated now as well, hasn't it? With phone tracking, there may be an air of, 2007, 8, with the emergence of kind of Android, and then Steve Jobs' first iPhone, and
it's quite funny because you see them using phones like Blackberries.
Oh yeah.
And N95, I loved my N95. That was
the berries were fantastic. Yeah, everyone I knew was on BBM, BlackBerry Messenger. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but the Nokia N95, the one with you just slap the front up. I loved that phone. That was brilliant.
Oh no, the berries were great, and the security architecture of the berries were great as well. It was a terrible thing.
Until what brought down BlackBerry?
Oh, I've brain farted about that. Please remind me.
Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia wanted a backdoor to the server in Saudi Arabia.
And BlackBerry said 9.
BlackBerry said no, and eventually caved. And that's what brought down BlackBerry, because they gave them a backdoor to their server, and that was it. Because everybody used BlackBerry.
Yeah.
The police used BlackBerry. The councils used BlackBerry.
It's commercial, like the public as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody used BlackBerry, and then suddenly overnight, no, we're off. Yeah. We're on something else.
Mm-hmm.
So that was quite interesting. So yeah, Spooks and Slow Horses obviously are the Spooks is the older one. Slow Horses is like a correction in the other way from Spooks. So Spooks is all action and shooting and MI5 guys doing people in, which they don't. They get their proxies to do it through their informants, And I mean that's technically legal. So people are legally allowed to kill people in the UK if they are an informant working for the intelligence services. So they're not working for MI5. They're an informant to MI5, and they're covered by the Third Party Intelligence Services Act thing, where they can take part in operations that may involve people dying, because the amount of intelligence they would gather would be useful for national security or essential for national security. Absolutely incredible that is legal.
The covert human intelligence bill, the CHIS bill, there's a lot of stuff there within British legislation which is very interesting, and that corresponds to the security services. It's worth a read, folks. It's worth a read.
So apparently the series to watch is The Sandbaggers from the 70s. That apparently is pretty close representation of what actually goes on in the security services.
Sandbaggers.
So I'm going to have a look and see if I can find that. I mean, it's like if people ask me what represents the police more than anything, and people look aghast when I tell them, but if you want the police in the 80s, watch Ashes to Ashes, because that's what it was like. The police in the 80s was freaking nuts.
Don't watch The Bill. Although I did watch The Bill growing up. It was great.
The Bill's not representative of what the police is like. Ashes to Ashes was what the police was like. It was a fucking scream.
Yeah.
And we did some ridiculous things. Absolutely ridiculous things. But yeah. So I'll put that in my book, The Ridiculous Things. I need to write memoirs, Right. Anything you want to bring up, Dave?
I'm good. I really enjoyed myself. This evening. Thanks for having me as usual, and we'll be back with a six baller again next Sunday with Mr. Chad Hawke, the man of the people.
Oh God, is he not still calling himself that? Is he? Of
course he is.
He's such a knob. He really is. I mean, he's our knob, but he's a knob,
I'm not saying that.
Well, let's just have a quick look and see if there's anything that weird and unusual things on my update. Fucking hell. Miners in the Mogok region of Myanmar, Burma,
Yep.
An area deeply scarred by ongoing civil war, have discovered a massive ruby weighing 11,000 carats. 11,000
Yeah, I
carats.
saw that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The second largest ruby by weight ever found in the country's history.
That must be something that they're fighting about, potentially.
Oh, no doubt.
No, wait, that's a long-standing historical conflict, all right? Yeah.
Oh, God, here we go. Here's a great conspiracy theory. Interstellar Comet 3I Atlas and the alien heavy water. So apparently a new study by the University of Michigan has revealed that the interstellar visitor contains heavy water at levels 30 times higher than those measured in our solar system's comets. This marks the first time such analysis has been successfully performed on an object from another star system. How do we do that? I mean, how? How can you tell it's got heavy water at 30 times the quantity? Is this from what's sublimating off of it just now? I don't know. Apparently a coyote made it to Alcatraz. It's a 2-mile swim.
All right.
So previously people thought coyotes could only swim a mile. I don't know why they thought that, but they thought the furthest they could go would be a mile. So Coyote made it to Alcatraz, which is a bird sanctuary. So
Good old Wile E. Coyote did us
so
proud.
I think this coyote is going to be terminated with extreme prejudice.
Yeah.
Right.
I won't say unalived. Oh, I said it.
Oh, God, don't say that. You ponce, you big ponce. Right, okay, I think that's brilliant. I think that's us. We're done. Love you all, people. It's great to have you.
It's been great
here
for me.
again. It's been great for me. And shall we play out? Well, we just play out with Ed's outro at the moment.
Yeah.
Since we're still thinking of Ed.
Yes,
very much so.
Yes, yeah.
I'll be going down to Brighton mid-June, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there. As they say, it's been great for you.
Old Ed stood on the pebbles, the gray sea licking his boots. He had salt in his heavy coat, the red dust in his veins. He talked to the wind like it was an old friend, bringing news from the south across the long blue miles. Oh, Ed the seagull, spread those heavy wings, leave the pier in the rain behind. Go find where your heart stays, under that African star. Hey, under that African star. He kept a jar on the shelf, filled with earth from the plain. Brighton was his walking ground, but the heat was his home. Now the chair is still, the morning tide is high. We see a white bird rising, breaking through the mist. Oh, Ed the seagull, spread those heavy wings, leave the pier in the rain behind. Go find where your heart stays, under that African star. Hey, under that African star. Stop the flow for the man. Hey, shout his name to the waves. He ain't lost in the deep, he is back in the sun. He is back in the sun. Seagull, spread those heavy wings, leave the pier in the rain behind. Go find where your heart stays, under that African star. Hey, under that African star. Across the water, far away. Across the water, far away. Go home.